There is election fever in India and there's literally nothing else to talk about. I was just thinking aloud about two ways in the world of filling parliaments. Say India has 545 seats, right? So there is a national party with national presence that contests 545 seats and loses each and every seat just by one vote. So in a nation of 1.35 billion, they are just behind by 545 total votes till they get 0 seats. Winner takes all. In Germany or South Africa, where there is proportional, they would have gotten about 270 seats. Is that too extreme an example? Not quite. I was in school then. I remember the sympathy election after Indira Gandhi's assassination, where BJP had 2 seats and Telugu Desam had 26. So does it mean that Telugu Desam at that time was 13 times more powerful or more popular or more prevalent than BJP? No. So proportional system has its benefit, but also in a country as big and as diverse as India, there are smaller, sparer population centers. They won't have any voice if it becomes proportional. And at the end of the day, all politics is local, right? Because in proportional system, you don't know who your candidate is going to be. The party just gives a list by ranking and they get adopted. Here, you may be celebrating India landing on the moon, but if your village you have to swim across a river to go to work, then you want a local candidate who knows the constituency and will build a bridge first. So for example, you support a party in the center and they field a candidate in your constituency and she or he has a reputation for corruption, very unsavory. So then what do? Hold your nose and vote for her or him and hope that they toe the party line? Or you want somebody who's always going to toe the party line, or you want somebody who's an independent thinker? There are other problems. What about fraud? When elections happen on such a big scale, some fraud is inevitable, and the people who lose, they're never going to say our ideas were bad. They will say there was fraud, they were cheating, and that's human nature. And there is also definition of fraud. Say, like I'm in US now, say there is a 100-year-old person who doesn't even know who's running. Does his vote count? Is it legal? Yes, of course. But going to his place by a young volunteer and say, uncle, sign here, is that a true vote? What is the definition of fraud? There are a lot of questions, a lot of problems, but isn't it fun to have these problems, to think about them? And just imagine, I grew up in India, now I'm in US. It is so good to be in countries where democracy is celebrated. We can say, we can vote. There are many places in the world who cannot even think of democracy in their dream. Democracy has its problems. It's the worst form of government except for all the other forms. So when you're thinking, previously you think that the fight was about ideology. Now the hatred of the other party seems almost visceral. No, even previously it was as bad. But unfortunately or fortunately at that time there was no social media. So older people couldn't tell each other how much they hated themselves. Now with social media, there are problems with social media too, good and bad. Good is it's democratic, everybody gets a voice. Bad because previously if I want to write this article, I would have to go through editorial process, go to a newspaper. Now all that I need is an internet connection. So all neighborhoods are simply crawling with Spider-Man who have tremendous power but no responsibility. But in a way it's also good because it works as a pressure release, as venting. You just say those things on social media and then hopefully you don't act on them. I would have loved to participate in Indian election, and I had an idea during COVID time, but like most of my ideas in COVID time, nobody pays attention, nobody cares. My idea was people like me, US citizens, UK citizens, European citizens, take 1% of our income and let us participate fully, give us full dual Indian citizenship, let us participate in India's election. That will be win-win-win. but nobody's going to listen. But it's fun talking about democracy. Dr. Ravi Godse.